Hey everyone, it's Evan Kirstel here with another fascinating guest here from Dell Technologies, Varun Chabra, Senior VP at Product Marketing at Dell Technology. Varun, how are you?
I'm great, Evan. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining me. It's a particularly timely discussion because Dell Technologies Week is next week. All things Dell,
Yeah,
and I'm quite excited. I'm going to be joining remotely, as are many,
awesome.
many, many thousands. But
Yeah,
tell us, maybe introduce your team, uh, yourself at Dell, and
yeah.
what you're most excited about next week.
Oh, sure, sure. So I've been at Dell now for close to 7 years. Currently, I my organization helps with a variety of strategic growth areas, such as our investments in Edge and telecom, as well as in Apex. So very, very excited to bring all of that and more across the company to Dell Tech World next week, as you mentioned. You
Yeah,
know,
well, I'm
go
I-
ahead.
I'm super I'm super excited to attend. It's been a
Yeah.
number of years since I've been in person, but let's get right into the landscape. What are the challenges and opportunities from your perspective right now in the enterprise IT and telco world?
Yeah, the thing that comes up most often in our conversations, Evan, with customers is really in the multi-cloud space, right? What we're seeing is that customers have data and applications running in a variety of locations, right? It's in their data centers, it's in colo facilities, it's obviously in the public cloud, often multiple public clouds, and increasingly now in distributed edge locations, right? And these applications and the data, they're all managed differently. They're built on different the applications are built on often built on different architectures. The way that they're managed is different. The data types that are being created, the velocity of some of that data, the need for data to be moved across the wire for analysis, it's all different depending on the application, depending on the location. This is causing a lot of complexity for our customers, and really, that's one trend. The other trend that we've seen over the last, you're no stranger to this, the last 10, 15 years, is people love the experience that they're having with the cloud operating model in the public cloud, right? Like the ease of provisioning infrastructure for your applications, the ease of provisioning services, the agility that you get, and really the hands-off operations capabilities that customers are able to, organizations are able to take advantage of. They really want that same experience. What they're telling us is they want that same experience delivered everywhere in all of these locations, and they want it to be consistent, right? So it's really the cloud operating model delivered seamlessly, delivered consistently across all of these locations, not just in one location or two locations. That's, I think, the central opportunity that most organizations that we talk to are working through today. Really, what they're finding themselves in is like everybody's using, we hear the word multi-cloud, right? Everybody's um, everybody's talking about, everybody's in the multi-cloud world one way or the other, but it's often a multi-cloud by default world, not multi-cloud by design. And organizations find themselves with multiple cloud environments. They find themselves with applications running in their data centers or in colo facilities or the edge, but it isn't really designed to work together, right? They're there by default, not by design. So for us, we want to move. We really think there's a big opportunity to move from this kind of multi-cloud by kind of a multi-contract world that most people find to a truly seamless multi-cloud world. That's really, in my opinion, the biggest opportunity, the biggest challenge that we can help organizations and customers with.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And you guys are going to have a number of announcements at Dell Technologies World next week. I don't want to steal any of the thunder there, nor am I privy to all those the news and announcements. But maybe give us a preview of some of the themes, solutions, products that
Yeah.
you're focused on.
Yeah, like you said, Evan, I'm not going to be able to share a lot of details, but we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. What I'd like to do is just give folks a few themes to watch out for, to whet their appetite for next week, if you will. The first of all, if you talk about the multi-cloud world, what you know, I mentioned that's very complex. So people might say, well, okay, what is Dell doing to reduce this complexity? Like complexity is everywhere in the IT world. What's unique about what we're doing? And it really comes down to two big pillars of innovation for us, or areas of focus for us in the multi-cloud world. The first is delivering our unique IP as software and services. Right. This is, Dell's traditionally seen as an infrastructure company, but as we talk to customers, what we're hearing from them is because they have applications and data running in so many different locations, or applications running and data in so many different locations. Um, it's increasingly important that the enterprise grade capabilities that customers really rely on us for, we are we we've traditionally delivered that as a as software embedded in our infrastructure, and we'll continue to do that for colo facilities, for on-prem locations, for edge locations. But especially as you start thinking about moving into the public cloud, it's equally important that customers that want that consistent experience, that want our enterprise grade IP that they really rely on for running their most mission critical applications and storing their most and protecting their most mission critical data, they should be able to take advantage of that either as software and services as well. So you'll see a lot of focus. We talked about that recently. We had a big cloud launch, a multi-cloud launch in January. We talked a lot about delivering more and more of our IP through software and services, and we'll continue to focus on that from an innovation perspective. And a lot of our announcements at DW would really be continuing to show our momentum, both from a technology perspective as well as with customer experience, for reducing multi-cloud complexity.
Yeah, super exciting. And for those who don't recall the January announcement of Project Alpine for delivering those better multi-cloud data experiences, give us a snapshot of what it is and some of the updates that
Yeah.
will be announced.
Well, Project Alpine is really brings, as you're showing on the screen here, what we announced back in January is that Project Alpine is all about bringing our primary or basically a primary block, file, and object storage platforms delivered as software or services in the public cloud, right? So as we talked about back in January, what we have customers running enormous amounts of data, more enterprise data than on any other vendor, running on our infrastructure. And as you know, right, data is the most important asset that an organization can have in the digital economy. So what we're hearing from customers is they really love the experience, the enterprise grade services, the protection capabilities, the dedupe capabilities that reduce TCO for their data, all of these different support for different compliance regiments and location requirements that are compliance requirements that are location specific. They can do all of that with us on-prem and in colo facilities. And what we're hearing from customers is they want that same experience with their public cloud storage as well. They want that consistency as they think about applications holistically running in different locations, not just in any one location. So Project Alpine is really about bringing those capabilities, that consistent experience, that enterprise grade capabilities that people look to Dell for across all of their environments, including public cloud. So in public cloud, these capabilities will be delivered as either as software that can be consumed through a vendor like AWS or Azure's marketplace, or as services that we've delivered through Apex, consuming technology as a service, so that organizations can then focus on just running their applications, extracting innovation out of those applications, and improving their customer and stakeholder experience, and leave the management of the infrastructure to us or our partners. That experience is really what Apex is about. So when I talked about software and services as a critical pillar, if you will, that's part of our aim to reduce multi-cloud complexity, that's really what Apex is going to help us do.
I love that. I love how you guys at Dell are embracing kind of the world as it is, the complexity of it, and realizing there's not a one size fits all solution
Absolutely.
to anything in life, much let
Absolutely.
alone enterprise technology. And it's really flexibility, choice, and control. That seems to be a key
Yeah,
as
you're
well.
right. And it's a great point, Evan. You mentioned it's there's no one right path, right? People find themselves on very different cloud journeys or multi-cloud journeys, and they find themselves in different stages of that multi-cloud journey. So there's a lot of different, it's almost like a n by n matrix in terms of the variables that lead a particular organization down a certain path. And Dell has always been very, very focused on providing customers with choice and flexibility, right? We're not experts in our customers' business. Our customers are experts in their business. Our job is to support them with what they need And one of the things we hear from customers is because of the diversity of cloud journeys and where people are on their journey, flexibility and being able to support organizations where they are with what they need. If an organization is heavily invested in on-prem or colo facilities, we are able to support them. With things like Project Alpine and what we've done in the data protection space over the last many years with cloud data protection, if customers are heavily invested in public cloud, we can help them with those as well. And with Apex, with the service angle, we can help customers straddle these boundaries, and have that kind of consistent experience of consuming technology and infrastructure as a service wherever they want to run their applications and store their data.
Very good. Well, one thing that's always so exciting about Dell Technologies World is the ecosystem that you've nurtured and created. I mean, you'll have partners there, solution providers,
Yes.
customers. I mean, that what can we expect to be on display virtually and in person next week?
Yeah, it's a super super important point for us to talk about. So thanks for bringing that up. I said there were two pillars to our multi-cloud kind of strategy for reducing multi-cloud complexity. One of them is software and services, IP delivered as software services. The other one is really building a seamless and cohesive multi-cloud ecosystem. A couple of points to make there. First is Dell has always been a champion of open ecosystems. If you look at what we've done in the PC space, as well as in the server space, and increasingly in the storage space, we have embraced the open ecosystem. And central to that, that will continue and even get stronger in the multi-cloud space. Because Evan, as you know, if you look at the amount of innovation that's happening in the multi-cloud space, there really isn't any one vendor that's going to be able to provide all the capabilities that customers are looking for, right? Like if you look at different parts of the stack, whether it's infrastructure, platforms, software delivered as a service, applications, management tools, professional services, we believe at Dell that the only way we are going to help our customers be successful is if you're kind of the champion of the multi-cloud ecosystem, or almost like a multi-cloud ecosystem champion, to work with the different partner types that you talked about, right? Like service providers, channel partners, telecom partners, OEM partners, even as you're seeing now with things like Alpine, hyperscalers and public cloud providers, platform as a service providers, software. The ecosystem is so immense and vast. But where we think there's an opportunity is to really stitch that together cohesively, so that customers, again, going back to your point, have the flexibility and control to be able to make the right choice for their business and not be backed into a corner because that's the only option available to them. So the ecosystem, the broad ecosystem is going to be super, super critical in the multi-cloud space. We have made we've made a lot of headway with different parts of the ecosystem, multi-cloud ecosystem over the last year. Or last couple of years, we've had announcements with AWS. We've had announcements with Google. We've had multiple announcements with Microsoft Azure. We've done work with Red Hat. We've done work with a lot of other vendors up and down the stack. And we're going to continue to lean into that and build upon that as the years go by over the next few years, because that's really going to be a critical part of helping customers with this multi-cloud complexity.
Wow, super exciting. Well, it's Dell's first in-person event in 2 years. So sounds like it's exciting, a little daunting. How are you feeling getting back out in the real world?
I'm very, very excited.
In-person event.
Yes, it's been 3 years since Dell Tech World. It is always so amazing. It's just so inspiring and humbling to some extent to meet with customers, other team members, partners, to see, it's just a beehive of amazing energy, inspiration, because you get to hear and talk about just how people are putting technology to use to make the world a better place. And there really isn't any, while we made a lot of strides doing a lot of this stuff virtually, there really isn't any substitute, I think, for meeting in person from time to time, and just listening and connecting with partners and customers and other team members. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you can see it in kind of the energy that I feel. So excited to get to Vegas and meet everybody. And for folks that aren't able to join in person, right? We know it's a hybrid world increasingly. There are ways to follow along online virtually, as Evan, you're doing that. Go to the Dell Tech World website. There's plenty of opportunities there to view different sessions, follow some sessions, breakout sessions virtually, check out the keynotes, follow the news announcements, as well as some experiences that are virtual specific. So we really hope people that aren't able to come are able to take advantage of the virtual experience next week.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm excited that it's a really robust hybrid event with live streaming and, of course, active social on the hashtag DTW22. And
Yes.
I'll be watching from there. So I won't be at the party, sadly, but second best is
We'll
all the
save
education.
a drink for you, Evan.
Yeah, I love all the education you get. It's truly a master class in every conceivable topic. Things I focus on, like IoT and 5G, are full in effect in virtually every segment of the market. So thanks so much for joining us, giving a bit of a preview, and yeah, I look forward to following you there.
Thank you so much for having me on, and thanks so much for all the viewers for listening in.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.